Welcome to the newest episode of 60 Card Bricks, a Yu-Gi-Oh podcast. My name is Carlos.
And I'm Ty.
In this episode, we will recap the 200th YCS, discuss some new card announcements, and look at the TCG and OCG meta reports. Enjoy the show.
You can buy a single of that card for like 50 cents on Amazon.
Don't worry, I believe in the heart of the cards.
Hi, how you doing?
Pretty good.
It's been a while. We took a break last week because we were at the 200th YCS, so now we're back. But that means we have a lot to talk about because we got to talk about the 200th, and then obviously there was a ton of news. So yeah, there's just a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But let's start with the 200th.
Yeah.
And we're going to start with just kind of our experiences first. Ty, you're much better at remembering your rounds and stuff like that than I am. So how did your tournament go?
Well, first off, we need to shout outs to our boys, Kaz Young and Zaid Slater. Kaz Young was actually one of my customers that I was selling something to at the 200 YCS. And both of them actually knew about our channel and are actively listening to our podcast. So that was really cool.
Yeah, that was kind of surreal, to be honest. But yeah, so shout out to those guys. Thanks for listening and letting us know that you listen, because that's pretty cool.
All right, so day zero, pre-rec. We were in a car at 9?
Yeah.
Heading out from Virginia, and we were there, I think, about 5.
Yes.
And as the one who gathered all the information, I missed the part that we actually have to turn in our deck list for the die. So we were frantically, finalizing a list. We thought that we could actually test play and then finalizing some tech cards and such on the night of the pre-rec, but then we didn't get to do that. So everybody was basically filling out the deck list that they had in mind before the tournaments. So
yeah, my side deck was not. I was not pleased with it after the tournament, and I choose to blame the fact that we had to write our list that quickly without enough testing. But I guess
yeah,
that's
none
still
of us could have traded the die for not
No, yeah, exactly.
for having a better list. But yeah, so the pre-rec was absolutely insane.
Tons of people.
Yeah, before the news came out, I asked the judge where I turned in my deck list, and he said that he estimate 1,500 plus, and I was like, that's actually insane.
Yeah, wow, that's the most people.
And after that, we went to a locals that usually just have 15, 20 people, and because of the YCS, they had, I think, 70 participants that night. And it was so much, and they didn't want to help us. We had to do single elimination instead of Swiss.
Yeah. Single elimination, and then they had nowhere to put us, so they just basically said, go find somewhere to play. You can play wherever you want. And it was chaotic. It was a mess.
It was insane. Luckily, I did play a Sky Striker player in round 2. He was really good. And I had some really valuable practice because in our locals, I was the only one who played PO Sky Striker, so I have never had any experience playing against Sky Striker. And I met him again on day 2, and he just scrubbed out. So, congratulations to him for placing that high. So yeah, I think we ended up at the hotel at 12:30. And then
that was a mistake. I would not do that tournament again.
Don't play locals. Just go to your hotel. And we had some mix up at the hotel also because
oh my gosh,
there was some dumb things. They were overbooked, but we had our rooms. It's just we had to wait a long time to actually get the room and come in. So.
Yeah. And then there's a guy wanting a remote. It was a mess.
It was insane. So I think I went to sleep at 3:30 because we have to re-sleeve everything and basically prepare everything. So yeah, I would not recommend. Just go to your hotel, play test if you want, get 8 hours of sleep. So yeah, day 1. Now this is where it gets crazy because I wrote in I played extra deck Draco with cherries. So I wrote in everything with my extra deck, but then I still had 2 cards missing, which were number 19 Freezodon, and heavy armored Crystal Zero Lancer, I believe. Yeah, it's the combo to out Waking the Dragon to get the 3,500 towers. And I thought that I could get my cards on that locals earlier. I mean, later that pre-reg night or on the vendors at the morning, but nobody had it at all. So what I did was I basically went around. I probably talked to like 500 people looking for those 2 cards and basically giving them $1 for each card, even though each of the cards like cents. So yeah, I was frantically running around, and finally I was able to get number 19 Freezodon, which was like, that was a pain. I didn't want to basically like lose every single deck check if I get one.
Yeah. So chances are, if you're at the 200th, there's a slight chance that you talk to Ty.
Yes. I talked to a lot of people just asking, hey, do you guys have any number 19 Freezodon?
Yeah.
Like, it was insane.
Definitely.
But interesting enough, that was the only 2 extra egg monster that I used in my main tournament. I didn't cherish anything at all. So I guess it was worth. So do you want to go through the rounds?
I mean, you can if you remember them. I personally do not remember the order of them at all. So
Sure. So let's go through them. Let's go through mine real quick. So round 1, I played Sky Striker Pure with Phantom Sky Blaster. Game 1, I win the die. I go first. I had a Gozen match game. Game 2, he goes first, and he passes on basically nothing. So again, I have Gozen match. Oh, wait. Game 1, I demised into 2 Ogre and another demise. Yeah, that good start to the day, huh? 2 Ogre and a demise. Game 2, I Ogre to another, I demise into another Ogre on my second turn, but then I normal summon it. I have Rivalry. No, I had Gozen match again. So when he normal summons Sky Blaster, I chain Ogre and flip Gozen. So he's stuck with 1 Phantom Sky Blaster token, and he cannot get rid of it. So he scoop immediately. Round 2, I play a Draco mirror match, which was interesting because so deck presentation, and I forgot to ask him about his main deck sided and Easter egg, which you should always do. And then I won the roll, and I said I'll go first. But then I suddenly realized it like 2 or 3 minutes later when people were still sitting for the round. And I asked him, how many cards are you playing in your main deck, side deck, extra deck? He said, no extra deck. So I was like, so what is the ruling on this? Can I know I said that I'm going first already, but can I choose again? And he said, he was really cool, but he said, yeah, you can choose whatever you want. And he also said to me, so we're playing a Draco mirror match. So I chose to go second. This is the first time that I've played a Draco mirror match. Heck, I mean, this is probably the first tournament that I've played Draco at all. So I basically had like 0 experience with it. But then I knew just to pop diagram most of the time, and I won game 1. But game 2, he made me go first, of course, and he sided in Ash. My deck was more towards Goki, so instead of 3 Ash, I sided into 3 Drows, and that basically cost me the game as I didn't have Ash in the Draco mirror match, which is absolutely insane to stop Heritage and Demise. So game 2, I lost. A thing that I learned about that is that I could have slow play a little bit more to get a tie, because I knew I was not as experienced as him in the mirror match, and I couldn't win anyway. But I scooped because I had nothing, and we went to game 3. I made him go first, but then he had an Ash for my demise, and I lost. So that's it, 1-1. And round 3, I had a bye. So that was good. Round 4, I played Danger BA. Again, floodgates. You cannot do anything to those. So I was 3-1. Yeah. Round 5, I lost to a pure Sky Striker player who was really good. Round 6, I tied with an Altergeist player, and this is the only time. Game 1, I won, and it was like a 30-minute match. It was insane. And game 2, he sided in Waking the Dragon, and I blind pop it, and he get out the 3,500 towers. What I should have do is place more importance in Chuking's return and try to have 2 level 5s to out the towers. But then I realized that kind of late, and then he was poking for damage, and it was in time. It was almost time when I managed to out his towers, and then I couldn't do enough damage. So that was the tie. Round 7, I lost in time to Goki. First Goki matchup of the day. Game 2 and 3, I managed to carry his Izo both time. So I lost game 1. I won game 2, and I lost game 3 in time. I could have sharked it because he said battle phase after time was called, and I could have called a judge and won and continue and keep basically still be alive. But then I didn't choose to do it because everyone in my group basically dropped out, and I was super tired because I only have 4 hours of sleep, and I don't think I could have advanced further into day 2 anyway. So I said to him, "Yeah, you're fine, and you got it." And then I dropped. So yeah.
Yeah, I dropped the round before you dropped. After my 3rd loss, I lost. What did I lose to? I lost to Sky Striker, pure in round 1. Then I don't remember when I lost to the Goki mirror. Because I did play Goki, by the way.
I think you lost to it round 3, I believe.
Yeah,
it was the bye round when I came and watched you.
Okay, and that's the round I have to talk about.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what my 3rd loss was to. I don't care. Because the Goki one is the one that gets on my nerves and really bothers me. So I lost game 1. I Gumblar Trigate him, and he was able to play because one of the things he discarded with Gumblar was a malicious. So he had the advantage to be able to play, and he did. Game 2, I go first again. I proceed to again Gumblar and attempt to try get him, but during the whole process, he sides in Gemini Imps. What?
I was watching that and I was like, oh man, Carlos just got murdered.
Yes, so he sides in Gemini Imps, which if you don't know what that card does, it says if your opponent activates a card that discards from your hand, you can discard this card, negate the activation, I believe, and destroy that card.
And draw 1 card.
And draw a card. So yeah, he sides in that card and blows up Gumblar, and I'm kind of in a weird place. I still make I at that point I had extra linked him, so I basically had an incomplete extra link because I had both zones taken up, and then I just made a Phoenix in there somewhere as well just to give it a little bit more extra protection. Now, this is what bothers me. So he does his turn, and the thing is, like, he shouldn't have been able to do anything because I had the extra link still. He can't destroy it by battle. I don't think he could have destroyed it by card effect either.
You had a Cerberus as well.
Yes, I had a Cerberus. And I've got the extra link. And the thing is...
And a Trigate 2 link.
Yeah, so no negate on the Trigate, unfortunately. But that's fine. Because I still have the extra link, and he's playing Goki. He can't play. So the thing is, I'm like... What to remember here is we got, 3 hours of sleep?
Yeah,
4 hours of sleep. I was very tired. So he summons something and attacks into one of the things that's extra linked. And I believe it was Mermaid, right? Now, I'm not saying he was cheating at all. I don't think he even thought about it. I think he misunderstood Phoenix. And I was just half out of it and didn't realize. He attacked Mermaid, and then we both kind of just let it get destroyed. But the thing is, Phoenix wasn't co-linked to Mermaid, but it was co-linked on the field. So Mermaid should not have been able to be destroyed. Okay, so at that point, he destroys the Mermaid, which he shouldn't have been able to do, and now he can play. Now, the thing here is, he then proceeds to go into his main phase 2. Now, as soon as he goes into main phase 2, I start to realize, oh my gosh, you shouldn't have been able to destroy the Mermaid because we have a Phoenix co-linked on the field. So I call the judge, and he says it's an accepted game state. That's what my opponent was saying, and that's what the judge agreed. And I was just like, seriously?
Yeah, I mean, It's a repairable game state, so
That was my point. That's what I said to the judge. I'm like, it's a repairable game state. Nothing has happened since. Like, it's not even like, even if he had linked summoned, it's still repairable. It's like, it's, I don't know. It was ridiculous to me, and I should have, in hindsight, I probably should have appealed it, but whatever. Yeah. So that's the one that I'm salty about. But beyond that, I don't know. I lost this Sky Striker player because he was really good. And again, I can't quite remember what my third loss was to.
hey, I avenge you too in day 2 though.
That's true. Yeah, so we did do some regional flights as well.
First original flight was a disaster. I played against a
Yeah, I
Cyber
lost.
Dragon player, lost in time because
I lost in time my first one as well.
he was taking quite a bit of time, and I was being super nice to do his plays, so
Yeah.
should have been doing that. Anyway, the second one, I think everyone in our group that played, me, you, and
And David.
David, also we all got to the semifinals and lost there.
Yep.
So mine was really interesting though, because the first game I played Goki. Game 1 he had full combo. I didn't draw one of my 5 hand traps, so I was like, but I still have a combo of Rivalry and Gozen. So I kept playing, and I just hoped to draw a demise. I didn't, so I scooped. But then I also in the process I also showed him that I played True Draco because I discard a True Draco spell, I believe. So game 2, and of course during his combo time I was like, okay, how do I beat this? Am I going to go first and try to flat him out, or am I going to go and facing like 9 cards, sliding in evenly match, Twin Twister, Red Reboot, or am I going to go second and mind game him? So I chose the second. He sided in everything, and I sided in all my hand traps. So 3 more draws and 3 cherries. And after collating everything, he said, your choice. I said, you go first. And he asked me again, who's going first? With like the surprise point, I said, you're going first. To play it, what he did was, he normaled Goki, and then he set his Red Reboot. He Twin Twister, discard his Malicious to destroy his own Red Reboot. And then he Malicious, and then he goes for Isolde, but then I had an Ogre, so he passed there, and then I just controlled the game. Game 3, he go first again, but then I drew 2 hand traps, and he didn't draw into mid-breaker field, so I won that game. So that was I was really proud of that move for sure.
Yeah. I made it to the semifinals of my second fight as well. I beat Meknet Invoked and Draco, actually. And then I lost to Altergeist in time. Sadness.
Yeah.
It was a really good Altergeist player. I don't really feel bad about that loss at all. I think I played as well as I could, and I just lost in time.
Yeah, and then round 3, I played the Goki dude that accepted game state, Carlos.
Yes.
He also gumblar me for the first game. I scoop, of course. I didn't draw any hand trap. Game 2, I did the same thing to him, and he has to ask me again. This happened twice. Like, who's going first? And I said him again. I won that game, but then game 3, he drew 2 Twin Twister, and I couldn't do anything.
Yeah, I during my regional fights I drew like really well. I never had this actually happen to me, but it actually happened to me where one of the people, I think it was the Meknet Invoke player, literally just asked me, "Do you have full combo?" I say yes, and he says, "All right, let's move on." He didn't have any hand traps, so I was like, "What?" So yeah, that was a thing, and I did have full combo, by the way. I wasn't lying.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right, let's move on because we've spent enough time talking about our personal experiences, and I'm sure there's people who are just like, "I don't care." That's fine. All right, let's talk about some of these new cards. First of all, the most recent card to be announced out of Soul Fusion, the TCG exclusive, one of the things that everyone's been waiting for. We have a new Danger card.
Yeah, Danger Thunderbird. It has the usual reveal and then special if it's not drawn card. But then the second effect, if it's discarded, is you can target a set card your opponent controls, destroy it, which is I think very nice. Utility base, destroying opponent's setback, engage, or Widow Anchor, really nice. And it also can destroy a set monster. So if you're playing a rogue deck, if you're seeing set 4 back row, set 1 pass, and you fear that it's Morphing Jar, just pop it.
Yeah, I don't know. At this point, I'm starting to think that we're going to keep getting cards like this that are more like toolboxy cards for the deck. And that's completely fine with me. I just don't know if that's going to be enough to push the deck over the edge.
I still don't know what's the goal of this deck though. Like, is it just having like beaters and then beat them down? Like, what?
Do you
what
think
is
they'll
this?
get a Link monster?
I mean, everyone and their mom's getting link monsters.
Yeah, that might be the thing that pushes it over the edge. I don't know.
Hopefully, yes.
But at this point, I'm kind of thinking that even in this set, we're just going to keep getting cards like this. But, I mean, again, it's a good card. I'm not
It's
saying
definitely
it's
a
terrible
very
or
good
anything.
card.
All right, well, let's move on.
One thing is that it's a level 8, so the deck can actually run trade-ins. Trade-in now.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on. Let's talk about the new Nordic card coming out of Soul Fusion.
Yeah.
You don't seem very excited about this.
It's a very old archetype, and I'm just not too interested in this. I'm not too invested in this.
Are we? I don't think we have it on the rundown. We're not talking about the cards out of the legendary decks, correct?
We can, yeah.
Because
I forgot about it because
yeah.
this was last week, so
Yes.
I thought people would know about it.
True. But I mean, I think this one kind of goes in concert with
The Nordic Link.
the Nordic Link. So
you might be you seem better than me in this, so
all right,
you
well,
can take it.
let's read the effect here of this new monster that they announced for Soul Fusion. It's a level 4 Dark Spellcaster, 1500, 1000. Its effect: if this card is banished by the effect of a Nordic Link monster, you can send to the graveyard 1 Nordic monster you control and 2 Nordic monsters from your deck whose levels equal 10. Then special summon 1 Aesir or Acer, I don't know how you say it, monster from your extra deck. If an Aesir monster in your possession is sent to the graveyard by your opponent's card, you can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon 1 Aesir monster from your extra deck with different names or with a different name than the cards in your graveyard. You can only use this effect once per duel.
It's once per duel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about the Link monster, but this one seems very
Okay, the thing
Very
is, the Link monster itself it's not bad.
okay.
It's I believe you banish a card in your possession. I think it's on your field or in your hand, and then you can special basically a bunch of Nordic monsters and then use them to synchro summon. Use them to synchro summon.
So basically, you can get two synchro monsters out if you banish this.
Okay, but the problem is the Link monster's Link 1.
Oh.
Where are you getting the other arrow?
Oh, right.
I don't know. It's weird. The whole thing is weird. I think the Link monster itself, like if you just look at it by itself and ignore the fact that, if we're honest and read the synchro monsters, they're not good. If you ignore that, the Link monster itself is really good. Even this card in concert with the Link monster is really good. The problem is the synchro monsters aren't good. I mean, they're fine, but they're not impactful enough.
Does the Link monster restrict you to synchro summon only, or like Acer monster only?
It actually restricts you to only being able to summon the synchro monsters.
Okay, yeah.
Like, you can't even normal or special summon any other monsters at that turn once you use the effect.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's super restrictive. But the card, I don't know. Okay, let me just read the effect. I think it's even, the cost is even more than what I originally was remembering. If this card is link summoned, you can banish up to 3 cards from your hand. That's up to 3 cards from your hand or field, and if you do, special summon that many Nordic monsters from your deck in defense position. Also, for the rest of the turn, you cannot special summon monsters except Aesir monsters, nor normal summon / set any monsters. You can only use this effect of whatever once per turn. You can, while this card points to an Aesir monster, your opponent cannot target it with card effects. Also, monsters your opponent control cannot target this card for attacks.
So basically, they need a Link too.
Yes, they need a Link too, and I would think they would get one, but I don't know when. Are they getting it in? I don't know where they're getting this. It's weird. And the Link monsters aren't good enough, so I don't know. I know people are kind of there are fans of this deck, but for me, there's not enough reason to be excited about this yet.
Yeah, it's definitely not to the level of the PK Link.
Oh, yeah.
The PK Link is actually very good.
We won't, it's really good. I would encourage people to go and read that one. And then don't even bother with the Hero Link. It's terrible. Sadness to my hero friends.
Gaia Knight, the Hero Link.
So stupid. All right.
Oh, boy.
Let's move on and talk about some cards out of the next set, not Soul Fusion, but the set after Savage Strike. You want to take the next one?
Yeah, this is the new support for the Charmer archetype. This one is the link for the Fire one. 1800 attack, link 2, bottom left, bottom right. 2 monsters, including a Fire monster. This card is always treated as a familiar possessed card, or like Charmer in English, I guess. You can only use these card names 1 and 2, so both effects once per turn. Number 1, you can target 1 Fire monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it to your zone this card points to. And number 2, if this link summon card is destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, you can add 1 Fire monster with 1500 or less defense from your deck to your hand. Right off the bat, I would definitely play this in Infernoid, like no question.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a solid link monster. I don't think it's like broken or anything, but it's definitely really solid.
I would still play this and the Fire Link 2, the
generic one.
Yeah, the generic one for OTK, but this one is actually really good in Infernoid because you can add an Infernoid when it dies. And I know people were thinking like, oh, this card can add Ash, but no, because 1500 or less.
Oh, tragic. Yeah, it's a solid card.
But in Infernoid though, I think this is amazing for sure.
You would know more better than I would.
Yeah,
I've never played
it's my fun
Infernoid.
deck right now.
Yeah, that's true. All right, let's talk about
Oh boy.
the brokenness. This
Oh,
card
boy.
is insane, and we are of course talking about Neospace Connector. This card, when they announced this card, everyone basically just like crapped their pants because this card, it's a one card assault.
It's a one card is so that it's more. That is more.
Yes, this card is nuts. It really is. So if you don't know what this card does by any chance, when this card is normal summoned, you can special summon 1 Neospatian monster or elemental hero Neos from your hand or deck in defense position. Then its second effect,
Doesn't even matter. But sure.
you can tribute this card, then target 1 Neospatian monster or elemental hero Neos in your graveyard to special summon it in defense position. That's 2 really good solid effects, but the first one is the one that matters because it's a one card assault that will let you discard a hand trap out of your opponent's hand, essentially.
Actually, I just think about this.
Yeah.
But if you open this with an extender, if you open this with an extender, you can do this. Special Aqua Dolphin. Use Aqua Dolphin to rip 1 card. Link that extender with Aqua Dolphin for Isolde. Second effect, get the Aqua Dolphin from the graveyard back.
my gosh.
Do it again, and then use Isolde. I just thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is very good support for Neospatian,
But
but
nobody cares.
this card is broken with Isolde. I just thought about that. Yeah. Oh
can
my
rip 2
goodness,
cards.
you can rip 2 cards before Gumbler. 2 hand traps. That's insane.
This card is absolutely nuts. As soon as I read this card, I was like,
Yeah, you
this
can
is
use multiple-
begging to be abused in Goki. Now, of course, this is assuming that Goki isn't completely destroyed, which it very well could be by the time we get another list. But unless they ban Isolde for some reason, this card is going to see play.
or sorcerers.
Yeah.
But yeah, Isolde, Isolde is actually enough for every other deck that's not named Goki.
Yeah. So, yeah, this card is going to see play. It's going to be abused. It's probably going to be a secret rare. Card is nuts.
Too bad for the OCG though. That they just got some sorcerers murdered. True. All right. Yeah, so I don't think there's anything more to say about it Yeah.
other than that it's a good card.
Very good card.
All right. There's a bunch more Neospatian cards.
Uh-huh.
That's really the only great one. Is there any other ones out of this bunch that you really want to talk about?
I mean, there's another boss monster that's super hard to get out. But again, it has a broken effect. So, I mean, yeah. The Neo Fusion is decent. Its effect is send to your graveyard from your hand, deck, or field the fusion materials that are listed on a fusion monster that lists exactly 2 monsters as material, including elemental hero Neos, then special summon that fusion monster from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning condition. Also, you cannot special summon the monster for the rest of its turn. And then it's a return of the Dragon Lord in the graveyard, so you can banish it to help. Yeah, you can banish it to make your fusion monster not being destroyed by battle or card effect, or return to the extra deck by its own effect as well. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a solid card.
that is a very solid card. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
I'm glad that they're getting more support.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be enough, but it certainly will help. So, all right, let's move on to more cards. We have more psychic cards. These cards are interesting. We have they're what it's comprised. The main deck monsters are 2 level 3 monsters, correct?
Yeah.
That if you have one, you can special summon the other from the hand, right? And then the synchro monster is, what does it do? It's an attack one, right? Yeah. Monsters with less attack than this card cannot attack, and monsters on the field with higher attack this card cannot activate card effects.
It's basically a skill drain for 2,000 and less.
Pretty good. If this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can target 2 monsters in your graveyard with the same type and attribute, non-tuner, non-tuner.
But we have Inspector Border.
Yeah, I don't know. I think people got really like hyped about these cards. They're like, oh, we can put these in level 3 decks, and sure, but I don't know.
This is definitely not Terra top level for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
So
you have to have both of them, right? Neither of them search each other, so. They're solid. They're not bad cards by any means, but I think let's chill a little bit. They're fine.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Final thing is the next booster pack name. Nothing has been revealed, but the name is Dark Neo Storm. Isn't there enough Neos?
Apparently not. They're trying to make Neos great again, I guess. I don't know. It's very weird.
They have so much support. Like, clearly, like, blatant favoritism from Konami, I'd say.
Oh, well, I mean, duh. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, are they trying to make up for the fact that the cards are terrible? Maybe. I don't know. It's weird. The whole thing is weird, but hey.
Also, another thing I want to talk about is the set that just dropped yesterday. Are you interested in any of those? For the Blue Eyes, the side set? Legend is Blue Eyes?
I don't really play Blue Eyes. There's some of the Cyber Dragon cards are interesting.
Yeah, we still don't have Nexter though, which is like one of the best cards that they have.
So I don't know. There's not really much. The Blackwing stuff I'm interested in because I like synchro summoning. So sure, I don't know. I might pick up some of that if I can get my hands on it, but I'm not going to be buying the set or anything. Yeah. So it's fine. All right, let's talk about the OCG.
Oof. I mean, this is the transition period because the new ban list is not in effect until like the 1st of October. So last week is basically like some shops are sticking to the old ban list and some shops are sticking to the new ban, are doing the new ban list. And for the one that are doing the new ban list, we're seeing Sky Striker and Trickstar Rising again. Oh, this is all going by the deck list because Road of the King hasn't published their article for this week yet.
Yeah.
So for the one that are playing the new format, Sky Striker, Trickstar are definitely the best deck that I can see right now. Goki is basically you can't see it anymore. Like there's not much anymore. And yeah, that's basically it. One thing I do want to talk about though that I showed Carlos earlier in the week. Card ranking, okay? 113 maxi, so 3 ups in every single deck. That's like, of course. Duh. 80 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, 2 ups in every single deck because it's limited to 2, of course. Number 3, 77 Dino Wrestler Prankertops. This card has risen from side decks in some decks to side decks in every deck. 2 copy. It's being cited more than Twin Twister, Call by the Grave, Infinite Impermanence, Red Reboot, all kinds of hand traps. Like, that's actually insane.
Yeah.
we talk about it. We don't know how strong it is, but like seeing the rise of it to become like the top card of the format is actually insane.
Yeah, you're definitely right. This card is going to be a secret rare. People are going to be clamoring for this card, and it's basically going to be one of those new mandatory side deck cards. That's what we're looking forward to. I don't know. I probably this is going to be one of those cards I'm going to probably take a while to actually acquire because I've got so much in the set that I need.
Cyber Strike? Oh no, Soul Fusion. This
Soul
is coming
Fusion.
into
It's coming in Soul Fusion. So I'm gonna be
You better-
busy getting my Thunder Dragon stuff.
You better win that box tournament then.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm really looking forward to this set. So it's weird because, like you said, because there's people are playing different ban lists, so that it's hard to know what to take out of this. There's a Shadal list on here, which is interesting.
Everything's back to 3.
Yeah.
But the earliest takeaway from the new format is definitely Sky Striker and Trickstar, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. There is one list on here that I saw earlier that I want to talk about.
Go ahead.
Because it's interesting to me because I like both of these archetypes and combining them is fascinating. Dinosaur Thunder Dragon.
Oh, yeah.
What is this? What is this? How the deck's evolving because they hit Thunder Dragons for some reason in the OCG? Like, I guess
they're basically playing everything in the deck is dark, so that you can run Allure like easily.
Yeah.
And then, I guess the end board is UCT and Super Bowl Thunder Dragon.
Not bad.
It seems that is a very hard board to out.
Yeah.
Both of them are so big.
Now, there is one major difference in my opinion.
3 miscellaneous.
3 Miscellaneousaurus.
It's the thing that that's there and hit you in your eyes. But they have one Soul Eating Oviraptor, so you can't complain like too much.
I guess that's true. When I see the 3 Miscellaneousaurus, it just makes me want to cry. But they're playing Armageddon Knight to make up for it.
Oh, right. The thing that ties everything together is 3 pill.
Yeah.
Because you're banishing the Thunder and getting their effect off, and you're getting
true.
OCT.
Yeah.
That's the thing that ties everything together. Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder if this is a viable strategy.
It might.
Despite Pure? Because I feel like Pure Thunder Dragons... I don't know, because when Thunder Dragons come out, people are going to be citing in a bunch of fusion hate.
Super Poly.
Rip. Dimensional Barrier. So maybe this is a viable strategy just because you have the backup of the dinosaur stuff.
In UCT, yeah, I definitely think so.
Interesting. I don't know. It might be something.
All I know
consider.
is buy your pill. Buy your pill.
Yes.
It's not getting a reprint. Just buy your pill.
Yes. It's such a good card. Card's insane. All right, let's move on to the TCG, and we'll talk about the 200th YCS.
Back to the 200th. I'm sure you have seen like every single video by now, so
Yes.
we're just going to go through this pretty quickly.
Yep.
Sky Striker best deck, Goki second best deck in America, while the second best deck in Europe is tied between, I think, Geist and Chureko.
Yeah.
And basically it. Yeah, I showed my friends on a comment I made on Reddit 9 days before, like basically before the YCS. And it's on a thread that's saying, now that Jones is hit to 1, do you think Engage price would drop? And I said there, Sky Striker will be tier 0.5. So, yeah.
Yeah, Ty was definitely right in terms of Sky Striker being the best deck. It is. I mean, there's some discussion about whether this is just because it's an undeveloped format, and but
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think Sky Striker is just flat out the best deck. They can run a bunch of hand traps to stop Goki, and then control you from there.
Their consistency is insane.
They go first, and they're gonna do a bunch of stuff and just end on multiple disruptions, and you're not gonna do anything. The deck is insane.
I mean, I still think Goki going second against Sky Striker is still a very good matchup for Goki. If you're playing like
If you're maining,
if you Twin
strong
Sister
stuff,
and
yeah.
Evenly, I think it's still really good, in my opinion.
Fair enough. That's true. Maybe that's how Goki develops moving forward, and we see like quote unquote going second variants, which would be weird. But
Hey, we see how broken Goki is. Even like I lost to a person, I flooded him out, and I couldn't win because he just keep getting Gokis. He just play like normal Goki beatdown. I think the dark horse that we need to talk about here is Burning Abyss.
yeah, Burning
How?
Abyss, it won one of these events.
And it got second place at Utrecht. How?
Burning Abyss, I mean, look, everyone, it's been said to death, but it's true. It's the deck that never dies. I personally, I'm a huge fan of this deck, so I'm not going to complain. But I know there's tons of people who loathe this deck, so...
I'm just waiting for Cherubini so I can actually sell my Dantes for a profit.
Yeah, but it is truly insane that this deck is still competing at high levels.
The highest level.
And it doesn't even have Cherubini. All right, well, that wraps it up for our TCG meta breakdown report thing. And unfortunately, we will not have a sleeper card of the week from Ty or a anime card of the week from me. We had some technical difficulties, and it is what it is. But we'll have those segments back on the next episode. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you subscribe and follow and like and everything all over social media, and rate and review because that'll help us out a lot as well. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.